Hi folks, we're going to get slated for this because I'm going to probably destroy and play badly loads and loads of kind of Van Halen-esque stuff. But I'm talking mainly about the guitar, which this is a 2015 model of the EVH Wolfgang Standard. Now there's a new version that's been they're continually evolving, and I'll talk about the differences. However, the fundamentals stay the same. Now, this I've had for a number of years, 2015, and it's my kind of go-to guitar when I'm singing and playing. I also use a Kramer Pacer, which is very similar in a lot of ways. I'll get to that. Partly, both have a Floyd Rose, however, none of them you can go sharp. You can't pull them sharp. There's no back cavity routing. It's not like my Ibanez where you can scream them up the way and almost break all the strings if you wanted. With this, it's diving only, which is so you want to get that sound. It does that, but it doesn't go up the way. So if you want to go sharp, you start low and bring it back up to pitch. When you're in a band singing and playing, that is one less thing to worry about. You're not going to go sharp, you're not going to go out. If you break a string, you can get to the end of the song. Now, it's also much quicker to change strings. However, I tend to still always carry two guitars with me. Okay. I used to own the PV version of this back about 22 years ago. Now, there is some subtle differences, but they are subtle. The PV one came with the D-tuner, and I know the higher models of this do also come with the D-tuner. When I seen this and it didn't have the D-tuner, I wasn't too bothered. I never really used it. I never found it was absolutely spot on. It was close when you dropped it, when you detuned, going from, say I'm in E down to D, but it just was a fraction out, so you still had to do a little bit of an adjustment there. So when this one didn't have one, I wasn't too fussed. It wasn't something I would live without. Now, this also doesn't have, like the higher spec one, the zero resistance friction-free volume pot. Love or hate them, I don't know. I'm not a fan of those. I prefer to have a little bit of the resistance there, but I wasn't doing your Van Halen kind of I would need delay on. But the advantage of having some friction there is you're not going to accidentally turn the guitar down, and that does happen. My E-Gen, I've had to make a bit more resistance in the volume pot, because if you were singing and playing and you're not really focusing on the guitar as much as your performance, you would sometimes touch the volume pot and it would turn down. And when you're playing rhythm, you're fine. And then you went to play a solo or a little lead break and you're like, I've no sustain, I've no gain, where's it gone? And then, there it is. So a bit of friction in the volume pot for certain circumstances, I prefer. So D-tuner, not there, don't care. Low friction volume pot, don't care. Now, between this and the PV, also, the PV was not chamfered here. It was a slab on the body. This is much more comfortable to play. Still a basswood body, still a maple top in this. This is called Zilla Burst. They don't make this anymore, but they do still make plenty of beautiful finishes. Now, the neck on this is the big go-to. Not go-to, go-to. It's the thing to get. For singing and playing, I tend not to favour my Ibanez. They're purely when I'm needing to go as a lead guitarist and I'm not having to concentrate too much about what I'm singing and doing otherwise. Whereas this, and the Kramer's very similar, in the neck profiles they're very, very similar. These are very narrow across from the nut width, and also 12-inch radius at the first fret, 16-inch up at the dusty end. So when you're busy playing kind of chords, it's nice and easy. It's almost kind of Strat-like in that sense. But this is really nice. You can thumb over. Nice and easy. Whereas with likes of the Wizard neck and the Ibanez, as beautiful as they are and as fast as they are, they're very much have your thumb on the back. Unless you've got huge hands, and I don't have little hands. So that makes it a really nice guitar to sing and play. The controls are very simple, and hopefully I'm going to try and keep this relatively short. Volume, tone, no coil splits, no coil taps, 3-way switch. Bridge, both, neck. Now, that's it. However, there's a wealth of tone to have. If you're using a decent amp or a decent modeler where you've got dynamic control, you don't need to have huge amounts of coil splits and taps, and it's another thing less to worry about. Now, on the dynamic control of this, I'll go to some crunch for that. However, quickly through the clean sounds. Bridge pickup is a nice warm, quite a mellow bridge pickup. It's not super harsh, it's not super high powered at all. It's quite a low, medium power, kind of PAF style pickup. The Wolfgang's own pickup is exceptionally good. I wouldn't even dream of any kind of upgrade. It's a lovely pickup. So, bridge pickup, down the way. So it's quite piano-like. It's not got a big mid-range spike. It's a full range humbucker. So it's your blues driver humbucker. It's not your tube screamer humbucker. So onto the middle position where you're using both. And that's it. I don't have even... There, I've got a little touch of reverb on now from the amp. So all we've got is a guitar straight into my Bugera 333XL, and that's it at the moment. So neck pickup is a higher output pickup than the bridge. However, I set this slightly lower so they're still balanced. Again, it's a rock guitar. Obviously you go, it's an Eddie Van Halen guitar, but they're really so well balanced, these pickups and the sound. These are direct mounted to the body. I'm not even going to go into that debate. If that makes all the difference and you feel it does, great. I don't really care. They sound good. The man knew what he was doing. I'll give him that. And this is not an expensive guitar, you know, 450, 500, 600 euros you get them for. They range, I checked this morning, I seen one in Bach's Music reduced from 800 euros down to 460 with a nice sort of sunburst kind of finish, quilted maple. I thought, wow, great. Some things I did when I was reading, they have changed. The neck, as beautiful as this is, and these are really, really just a glorious glorious neck to play. Nice rounded, not a super flat, like I said, not very thick. So even as a kind of somebody with quite small hands, this is nice. Also, when you're wearing this guitar standing up, you don't have the neck away over here. It's not like a Gibson SG or a Firebird. It's not even as far away as playing some of my Ibanez. The neck for chordal playing is really comfortable. It's right below you. And for lead playing, it's slightly back, but very, very easy access to everything. It's been really designed. The length of this horn has been obviously designed to get that position just right. And I'll say it is just right. So the new version of this, even at the ones I've seen today around the 500-600 euro mark, they come with a roasted maple neck. This is not the roasted maple. This is one that's the standard maple neck. And the roasted maple is meant to be more like an aging process, much more stable. All the moisture's driven out of it, or any kind of resins are crystallized. Basically they shove it in an oven and bake it. Probably a bit more technical than that, but hey. This is obviously just aged over the years. However, even from new, this was rock solid, stable, not a problem. And it's just the standard silver nickel frets. I've not had any wear on these worth speaking of in that time. However, to go now to the roasted maple, it's a nice little extra. I'm not so keen on the colour, but you know, some may like it. I quite like the nice bright looking maple, but that's just me. So tremming this, like I say, it's Floyd Rose non-pulling sharp. However, this is just the Floyd Rose Special. Now the Floyd Rose Special is kind of a cheaper model, but I wouldn't let that stress you out too much, mainly because it doesn't have a going sharp option. It's flush to the body. So even if the blades on this wear, or the posts wear, you have enough tension on the screws at the back that you have the bar and the trem. When you dive bomb or you do a gentle warble, it will always go back to tight against the body. So it will always go back in tune. You know, you can break a string, it will not go sharp. So a bit of wear in the trem isn't the be all and end all. It's not something you're really going to notice. The tuning stability in this is absolutely rock solid. It always has been. So that's great. Very, very dinky headstock. It's a kind of love-hate thing. The PV had a piece of wood there. Somebody at EVH took a bite out of this, but I don't mind it. I think it's quite nice. I do just love how short this is though. It's just so comfortable to play. And I'll keep going back to the comfort factor. And this is the thing when I'm singing and playing, I don't want to be having to stress about anything. It's just, I've got enough to worry about in a three-piece band playing Van Halen stuff or playing Motley Crue or playing Poison or whatever. It's not really meant for the guitar player to be doing all the singing as well. So, you know, one less thing. So, clean tones, yeah, we'll get by those. Onto a crunch tone. Bridge pickup. Now, this switch, when I got this, and when Edward Van Halen was alive, the up position on the switch was the bridge humbucker, middle was middle, and down was the neck. However, now I think they've reversed it. And I reversed it in this. It was literally slacken off this screw, turn the switch 180 degrees, no need to unwire anything, and then tighten it up again. Sorted. So this is working the same way as it does on a Gibson Les Paul. Up his neck, down his bridge. So, because it's not a super high output humbucker, this is where this really works. You've got a nice, gentle, switch off that. You have got this. Play the right bit. Try and guess how many bad riffs, bad Van Halen riffs I do. So there's a kind of crunch. And if I play something else, something earlier. So, rolls off really nicely. We'll go back to that first riff. I'll go to the neck pickup with some gain on it to play this properly. Please don't kill me for this. There you go. So much control, so much range, having that slightly lower output humbucker in the bridge. So yeah, if I want just to play that rolled off, I'll do something completely sacrilege here. You can have that range. Now my secret weapon, not secret weapon, everybody knows about it. You would normally go and hit that with a tube screamer. Personally, I have just had a lifetime love affair with the Boss SD1. I use it to boost the Jet City, I use it to boost the Bugera. My Boss Katana, I use it in that. I use it even if I'm just going direct to a PA system with my old Digitech, or even the Line 6 Firehawk that I've got. That pedal is, for me, the thing that just brings out all the harmonics. So... Other artists will be ripped off in this video too, by the way. So, great for that. Lead sounds on the neck pickup, you again, because this is quite a rounded, mild pickup. Not a super high gain screamer. Now you would think, oh, with Van Halen it's going to be monstrously high gain. However, it's not. Of dynamic range there, and then if you want to do some lead, Roll off the volume pot a bit. Tone pot, not volume. You can tell I write all this down and rehearse it. I don't have a Les Paul. I don't own one. I've never owned one. I've just never really gelled with them. So this is kind of my Les Paul. 2 humbuckers, 3-way switch. That's about it. No, not a mahogany body. Doesn't weigh a ton. It's quite a nice light guitar. A great gigging guitar because you've got to wear the thing for 3 hours. So, yeah, no, we're not going to go there. So, add a bit of overdrive onto that sound. So you hear that's the neck pickup, but it's still not muddy. It's still got some clarity. Okay, I'll just quickly add in the effects loop in this. I've got an old, very old 1991 Boss SE50, which is an old half rack little delay unit with some pitch shifting and things, and I've set this up with a little bit of the micro pitch like you would with an Eventide, and that's what I had at the very start, which gives you almost that Soldano tone. If I use the SD1 into the Bugera, it gives it that little hairiness. My Jet City absolutely nails the Soldano tone, however the effects loop doesn't work as well with that unit. So a little bit of detuning, and you're talking about 8 cents of a note. So 8/100ths of a note down. One side completely straight through. There's still a normal in tune line. I'm trying to think of words here. Words not working good today. And one side is a blend of the straight signal and one with an 8/100ths of a sound down. It's almost a chorus effect. So I'll go to the bridge pickup, switch this off, on, very subtle until you play something from the For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge kind of era. And then the dynamics. And all I've done there is kick on and off a Boss SD1 and turn the volume down. In fact, I probably wouldn't have to even touch the SD1. I could do that quite happily without it. I'll just try. So then you're just back into a nice gentle crunch. So yeah, it does all that. The amp helps. I will say it's a great amp for that kind of versatility. But if you want to play kind of hard rock, this is a great guitar for hard rock. I'll switch off my little Van Halen cheat button there and just do some kind of Van Halen-esque riffage, because this is what this guitar excels So there you go. What else to tell you? It's a Strat scale neck length, 25.5-inch length. However, this is just so dinky, so compact, so comfortable, so light. Such a nice neck. Really, these are an absolute bargain to get. And, you know, even if they're up at 500, 600 euros, you've got a beautiful gigging guitar. It's gorgeous. Just a straight black on the back. The cavities are all nicely finished. There's nothing sticking out. Little bar there. Rock solid tuning. Great neck. What more do you want? So there you go. Thank you very much. And I'll just do a little blast out to finish with a little cheat button again. And I'll do something that's maybe a bit more off balance. There you go. Name how many you can. You'll probably do a damn sight better job than I did on them. Great guitars, well worth the look. Thank you very much, and I've managed to fill up half an hour again. Hope it's detailed enough. Bye bye.